Hi, Laura.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you.
Thank you for being with us. I'm delighted to meet you and to be speaking with you today about your film, A Year of School. So it's showing at Cork International Film Festival, our 70th anniversary edition. It's in the spirit of the festival competition, which comprises 8 films from European directors who are with us with their first or second feature. The spirit of that strand is to, build a bridge between Ireland and its continent and tell stories from Europe and really show the best new filmmakers from Europe. And so you represent Italy, and indeed your film premiered in Italy at the Venice Film Festival, and where it was the Orizzonti section and won an award. It won a Best Actor award for Giacomo Covi. I'll get back to it. Very deserved award. And at our festival, you're not only running for the 2 awards of Spirit of the Festival, which are Best Film and Best Screenplay, but also 2 other possible awards. This year, CIFF hosts the Audentia Award by a European institution, Eurimage, which supports female directors. And so a jury will decide on one film directed by a woman, and for an award of 30,000 euros provided by Eurimage. And it was also selected by young programmers, so students who work with us, to choose their 8 favorite films, which will then be eligible to the Lookout Award. So Lookout Award being CIFF's Youth Jury Award. You have young people there who basically validated that what you show of people of their age is genuine, talks to them, and they fully embrace as something they love. So you
That's
are
a
in good hands.
Thank you.
Mia. Mia.
Ragazzi, viene da un paese civile, eh? Non la facciamo pentire di essersi trasferita.
Dai ragazzi, dai! Sì! Seguiamoci dopo.
E te?
Som början av någon porrfilm.
Så bra alltså.
I'll start with the first question. So congratulations for all this, for a successful launch in Venice. And A Year of School is your second feature film. It's very different from the first, Piccolo Corpo. So I want to hear you on that. Was there a strong intention with your second film to do something very different, maybe concerned to be put in a box, eager to prove that you can do very different things?
Yes and no. I think the necessity of crafting such a different film comes from a very egoistic place, because after a film about death, I needed to do something about life. So I really wanted to have fun after Piccolo Corpo, after Small Body. And the best way I could imagine to have fun was working with young adults, with teenagers. And also, yeah, of course, we work in an environment that once you do, after the first feature film, it's like you are unboxed in a way, especially if the film was well received. So even though maybe the pressures are not verbalized, I could really feel that people were demanding me to do something very similar again. And I could have, but I was imagining myself doing the same film for my next 40 years. And I have, like everyone, I think as a human being, I have more shapes. I have more interests. And also, since it takes 4/5 years to do this type of cinema, I change through the years. I get layered, and so I really wanted to do something very different. So then to be free to go back to what I did before, in a way.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. It's so Year of School is adapted from a book.
Yeah.
Tell us about that book and your desire to adapt it, but also what you might have changed and made your own and why.
A lot of things about preserving the bone structure. It's a book by Gianni Stuparic, and it was written, it was published in the first half of the 20th century, and it's settled at the beginning of the 20th century. So together with Elisa Dondi, the co-writer, we decided to move the actions 1 century later, so at the beginning of the 21st century. A lot of centuries here. I hope it's not too boring, this anecdote, because I really didn't want to shoot again with horses, with long dresses, without electricity and things like that. So it's a book that I read when I was in high school, and it's settled in the very same high school that I was attending. So yeah, there is also some like personal stuff involved there. And we basically decided to move the action 100 years later in order to have young adults that are more similar to the ones that we were, since it's telling the story of the first girl joining a class of boys only in the senior year. And this was not my case. I was not the only girl among the guys, but I was the only girl admitted to a smaller group of guys. So some things resonate in a way, and that's it. Yeah.
And why not today, for example?
Because I know nothing about young adults of today. No, I'm joking. Now I know because I worked with them to have the actors, right? If I think to what it means to be 17, 18, 19 at least, I know what it means back in 2007/8. So there were no socials, for example. I know that this is a very like shallow and basic consideration, but in terms of socialization, it changes everything. Because I think we were, as a generation, we were not scared of the bodies, ours and others' bodies. We were touching each other a lot. Well, I'm Italian, so we're very touchy in a way. But there was a lot of eye contact and also a lot of interactions between bodies. So it was before pandemic, it was before socials, because like Facebook hit Italy in 2008. So at the very end of our story, in a way, and also there are other things that were really dear to me, and I wanted to have them in the film. So it was mandatory to have that era, because 2008 is right before the economical crisis. So it's like the end of this golden era. And also, since the film is settled in Trieste, which is my hometown, and it's northeast Italy on the border with Slovenia. The end of 2007 is the moment when Slovenia joined Schengen. So, that is a very fundamentally important border, the one between Slovenia and Italy. It has been theater of war, and it has been contended for decades. So I remember that we were partying when Slovenia joined Schengen. There was like the dream of this united Europe, and of siblings that were reunited again and not having to show the documents anymore. And then, it's like 20 years later, and we're asking ourselves if something went wrong. I don't know. But long answer, sorry, but this is...
I'm glad, thank you.
Ehi Fred, che passa?
E andrò in trappola.
Anche me.
Non ho mai fotocopiato il mio culo.
Non ho mai pianto da quando sono morto mio fratello.
Lo so come stai.
È migliore un po', col tempo.
Happiness isn't something that ascends, but is something that falls.
Instead.
Ste foutu si scope, bravi.
Che cazzo recce c'ha lì?
So Laura, what would you say to viewers who might be disturbed by the boys' macho behavior and the girls' willingness to play along? Does that belong to a certain era?
Yes, it does. I mean, I noticed that like the audience is receiving with some struggling, especially the first part of entering the story, which I totally get. I mean, that was the intention in a way. Because I think as a society we're working very much on solving this kind of behaviors and teaching young generations and also like learning from young generations what is how the world is supposed to be, like with less aggressivity, with less violence, and with less gender gap, of course. In terms of storytelling, together with Elisa Dondi, the co-writer, we strongly wanted to have a very clear structure, meaning that we wanted to enter the story with a male gaze, which is already like something complicated because we're both girls. So,
But girls with very high emotional intelligence, I would say.
Thank you. It took some effort there to approach that gaze with a suspense of a judgment, I would say, because we really didn't want to portray the guys as the bad ones and the girls as the good ones, because I don't think this is how the world works. But of course, when you craft a story, you have to do some synthesis here. So to be very simple about it, we wanted to enter the story through the male gaze, so together with the guys. So us as audience, we're looking at the guys that are looking at Fred, the main female character. And then there is a very specific moment when the camera, the direction, the script writing, so in the opposite order, but when we decide to move on the side of Fred. And this is when all the like bad jokes that they make, all the like disturbing elements that they use to control her go too far, which is not even the worst thing that they do. But I don't think this is a big spoiler, but I'm gonna tell it in case someone hasn't seen the film yet. This gang of guys steal the clothes of Fred after gym class. So she's forced to walk out of the locker room only with a towel on her body. And if there is someone among the audience that till that moment has accepted to be part of the boys' gang, so who enjoyed it, because they're also very fun. So they're doing bad things, but they're also very fun and good looking. So it's a bit tricky here. And I think it's not very easy to decide, okay, haha, they're bad, or I want to belong to them. It's like everything. If it's so subtle, the limit, you're in the middle of it. But from that moment on, we said, okay, no, from now on, we are siding up for Fred. And so it's like the audience starts to have more tools than the guys, because it's a privileged point of view, because you can understand everyone's reasons. And I think this is always a good starting point in order to solve things, to understanding and listening to all the parts, and then, of course, take action. So, yeah.
So let's talk about your work with these young actors. Going back to that acting award, which made me euphoric when I watched the awards of Venice. It felt so right, a choice from the jury. So I understand there was some street casting involved, meaning that they might not have neither started a career as an actor, or maybe for some of them not even considered it. In the case of Giacomo in particular, I was deeply moved by some of his very subtle moves as an actor, in a way that it's not necessarily what you expect of these kids that I just found, and because you would talk about their truth, their being comfortable with the camera, etc. But subtlety, not necessarily with such a young person who might not have done a film before. I found him subtle, and certain things that you feel almost like, well, maybe I'm the only one who saw what he just did there with his mouth, and what it says about the inside the turmoil, you know. And how do you get that from an actor? Please tell me how you worked with them and how you saw in them that they would be able to do something like this.
I think everyone is capable of acting in a film if the role is right, and if the premises of the set are comfortable enough, meaning that specifically in this film, according to the age of the characters, we already knew that we would have worked with debutants. We were sure about it because Trieste is not a city with like cinema schools or master classes. So we already knew that we would have found someone with no experience. And I worked for the first time with a casting director. I was very skeptical about it because I'm a bit territorial when it comes down to casting. So I was like, I don't know, maybe we'll not speak the same language. And then no, I work with Davide Zurolo, who is amazing. He's an amazing professional and especially an amazing human being. So we really clicked immediately and started working with street casting, with also Alejandro Bon, who was in Trieste all the time with me. And also we worked so good together that I decided to bring him on set as
coach?
Yes, the acting coach, because it's a matter of like giving chances to the people also to exit their comfort zone and saying, we're working so nicely together, why don't we la la la, end the sentence. So together with Alejandro, we did, I think, 2 months of street casting. And since we were looking for young adults, we were not street casting in the morning, we were street casting by night at parties and at clubs. So I don't think I ever had the age to be a night animal, but I try to. So we had a lot of fun, and we found the 3 male main characters like this. So the one who plays Pasini, Pietro Giustolisi, and the one who plays Antero, Giacomo Covi, the one you were mentioning, they were both working in 2 bars, 2 different bars. And we were looking at the customers, you know, like we were like really scouting among the crowd. And then we turned to the counter and, he has an aura, you know, because there is no science here. I think it's more like, it's like when you fall in love in a way. So you don't know the reason. Well, maybe falling in love is too much, but when you feel attracted by someone in real life, it's the same with street casting. You don't know the reason why. It's not about like being super handsome or loud. It's like, there is an energy.
Io lo capisco come stai, però se fai così gli dai ancora più potere.
Perdere, verbo transitivo. Perdere l'appetito, il sonno, perdere la reputazione, la stima. Non avere più la considerazione di cui si godeva presso gli altri. Come invito a non accanirsi, lasciare andare.
The way I've been presenting the film since we announced the program is whatever age you are, this film makes you fall in love like when you were 17. There's really something about this film that does that to you. So there, you put in place some sort of formula there that makes it work this way.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know. But let's say that, so this is about the 2 of them. And then Mitis, Samuel Volturno, was found in high school. He was attending the last year of high school, and Fred Stella Vendic was found through a casting in Sweden in a high school again. So like two of them were working and two of them were ending the studies. And then, of course, like, how did we choose them? With similarities, I think, because they have similarities with the characters they play in terms of attitude, in terms of like emotional reactions to things that happen in life. But then, yeah, like they don't necessarily had the very same life experience. And then we did a lot of rehearsal. A lot of rehearsal, but not like technical ones with the script. This is a way I really like to work, not to start with the script. Then, like, it's a very long circle. Then we end up working with the script and they know the lines by heart. But we don't start from that. We usually start, and the work with Alejandro empowered it even more. We start working with the body every time, with the body, like taking confidence with what it means to be stared by a crowd and to be like, you forget how you walk. You feel like you start freezing because there is embarrassment here. So to learn how to do things again in a way in front of people, and also to become conscious of what it means a gesture, what it means a glimpse done in that way rather than the other. So non-verbal communication. There is a lot of work like this. And then once these things are secured, we can go to the script. So this is how we worked. A lot of rehearsal.
That's very interesting to me. One of my questions was, what part of the process of filmmaking do you like the most? Because, of course, making a film is not only the result of the film that we're showing at the festival. And what you're describing of the rehearsal, for example, sounds like a lot of fun, and also going into the details and doing something together as a group. So between the writing, the preparations and the shooting, and then, of course, your film exists, and the promotion, what we're doing now, carrying your film, the film being appreciated. What phase do you like the most? Maybe it's all of them because your profession is diverse.
Yeah, yes, you never get bored. I can tell you what is more like the most tough part for me is editing. I really suffer it because I don't like the routine of it. I don't like the fact that you have to be seated in front of a screen and like cry on the flows that you're seeing. So I don't usually have fun with it, but luckily the editor I work with is a very dear person and very like she really understands my mood there. I think the part of starting the rehearsals is my favorite because in that moment everything is still is written in the water in a way. I don't know if it makes sense in English. It's not printed yet. So you start rehearsing and you have room to modify the script. You have room to change the location. You have room also to change your mind on a character because maybe the actor or actress is bringing something new as a vision, and it's like if it's a tissue, the threads are not very tight. There is room for water to pass in it. So that part is amazing, and things are not unboxed yet, and usually also production wise, the department of production is still open to changes. So there is still room for creativity because once you get on set, the only thing that can, at least this is my opinion on my sets, the only thing that can change is the mood of the actors and actresses. So they are the only ones allowed to to be unpredictable in a way. So everything has to be fixed, has to be secured. Every department has to know what to do and how and when, because if, including me, if we're not ready in that terms, then the actors and actresses will have to fix it. And this is not what we want to do. We want them to be free to play in this playground, but the playground has to be safe and set. Yeah.
And what you have to work with in the editing room has to be close enough to what you needed.
Yeah, also to play around with it then. So yeah. I prefer to have us more like ready than to have them more free than the other way around.
It's super, because you just gave very important insights into these secrets of how to make a good film, basically all these steps where what needs to be ready, what needs to be in place at what step. It's very, very interesting. And but what you describe as being your favorite phase is fleeting. It doesn't last so long. It's so many months and years to get to that stage. Are you impatient to get there again? Are you thinking already of your next project? Are you even able to think of it and work on a project while you're still promoting the previous one, or is more one after the other?
Oh no, yes, you have to have like to cultivate like dreams and desires. Otherwise, after a while, you start talking about nothing. You start talking about something that you look at the calendar and it's like, ooh, it's 1 year that I'm just talking about things that I did 2 years ago. So it's like, sorry for that. So it's vital. And yes, I'm reading a lot in this moment. I'm reading a lot. I'm listening to a lot of music, and I'm taking strolls. So I'm letting things flourishing in a way, because I'm a slow burner in that term. So yeah, I still don't know. I don't have an answer now to what will it be the next step.
Listen, Laura, what's clear is that we'll be there, very attentive to whatever you do. Really love your two films, and as I will be telling the audience at the festival, I think you're indeed a talent to watch, and thank you very much for this beautiful, beautiful film that we're so happy to have at the festival.
Thank you, Aurélie. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you soon.